What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the Innovators Den. I am formerly known as hashtag. Follow us at the Innovators Den, also on Instagram. I'm with
Steve O Business. And we got the special guest here, Arelia Tavares.
Taveras.
I said it right?
Good enough.
It's so a pleasure to have her here. She's a very unique person and individual and public figure that has been helping a lot in the community, especially restaurant and business owners acquire their licensing, their alcohol and liquor license, correct?
Correct.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Arelia Taveras. I'm the head of hospitality and business development for the Dominican American Chamber of Commerce. I also have New York business licensing, which is a boutique practice helping restaurant owners obtain their liquor license, their food permits, and vetting locations so that our restaurant owners get the best opportunity they can to enable them to open a restaurant the way they want, with the least hassle, the most funding, and also with the best ideas.
Right. And that's a good way. I mean, it's not easy to just have the dream, set up the restaurant, and then what are all the legal things, right, in the middle? And this is where Arelia comes and helps those organizations or people that want to start these businesses, and she'll audit you and help you make the best decisions, correct?
Correct.
Okay, just making sure.
I try to use all my resources too. So you're just not a restaurant owner. You have other restaurant owners to support you. I used to work for the Restaurant Association. I was the executive director, and I was also the president for a period. We set up food programs. We get them minority certified to enable them to obtain contracts with the government contracts. 33% of contracts must be given to minorities, and we're only fulfilling 1% of them.
Wow.
Because we do not fill out those minority certification packages and start doing business with the city. They cater, they do events, they do galas. They have to do them somewhere. Why not at our restaurants?
Mm-hmm. Correct. No, that's a perfect medium and opportunity for us to work with the city and make sure we have our certifications and build out our businesses, correct?
Yeah, and it helps, that steady income. It's not like you're always relying on walk-in traffic. If anything, the pandemic showed us is that you can't rely on walk-in traffic. Mm-hmm. The delivery apps saved us during COVID. Even though they were charging us, they were saving us, because a lot of our community, I have an assistant who goes and does the helps people advertise, and she can't even find they don't have a platform, a delivery platform. They don't have an Instagram. They don't have the only thing they know how to use is WhatsApp, a lot of my clients. Mm-hmm. So when you come and see someone like me, I say, well, look, you have this whole market out there. Look, you can self-advertise. You can do this. If you do not poke your head or your restaurant out there, and you do 0% advertising, you will get 0% results. But if you go and step out, even in community events, the community board, your neighbors, the people in your building, mm-hmm. give them a flyer, talk to them, your church, you get almost a 30% increase.
Yeah, that goes for everything. If you're not really marketing yourself, you're not putting yourself out there, you can't really expect to grow at the level that you might have.
Right.
And that's the dating recipe. Do you know the dating recipe?
No.
If you don't go out, if I stay home and watch TV and eat ice cream, I have a 0% chance of meeting anybody. But I go outside and get the ice cream, and my chances increase by 10%.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
That's very true.
It's true. So basically, restaurant owners or business owners need to be able to do marketing, connect with their community, gather information on their community, and also be able to retarget their community through programs that they have, running advertising campaigns. But everybody in our community is not so well versed, right? So this is why we need certain agencies similar to ours that we come and help other businesses master those departments in their restaurants or businesses, correct?
And also, it's just hard enough to be the business owner. So you wear 17 different hats. It'll be more productive for you to wear 16 hats and give one of those hats to someone else, because you probably get better results because you're not doing it full time.
Well, you can't be everything to everyone. You're not going to be the perfect marketer. You're not, and that takes time. Mm-hmm. I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to put one photo and get at least to touch somebody in my marketplace so that they can see that I have services or that I have events that I want to promote or restaurants that I want to promote. But you gotta, that time, who gives it back to you? Especially when you're a restaurant owner, you're ordering inventory, supervising staff, scheduling hours, calling employees, people calling in sick, if you're missing an item, and then not to mention all the regulatory stuff, compliance, make sure the place is clean. And then you have a family, and then you want to have a life. So you can't be everything. So when your services for restaurant owners are indispensable, only because we reach a market we never even thought we could reach, regardless of our language barriers, because that's one of the biggest impediments for us.
Right.
Language barriers. Because food is universal. You just have to see a picture and you get hungry.
Right.
Totally. You also are in the chamber, the DR Chamber of Commerce, correct?
Dominican American Chamber of Commerce.
Dominican American Chamber.
Let me say that right.
Commerce.
We're learning every day, guys.
No, but let's speak more about what they do, what you do there, and expand on that, because that's honestly how we got reach of you. I was seeing the Dominican Chamber of Commerce IG, and I saw that you were in a lot of the, I think it was some sort of restaurant event. So I was like, oh, I see that you're present there, and
well, the Dominican American Chamber of Commerce, by definition, brings commerce, creates commerce, promotes commerce into your business. When you participate in the chamber, Verizon is now one of our partners. They had a $10,000 grant program. We even had one of the delivery apps, DoorDash, had another program for restaurant owners. So there's opportunities for people in chambers to meet other people because we host events. Just there alone, we had a Chef Pirata, who's a chef for the Manhattan Chamber of Commerce, and now he's on board with us. And he can't even keep up with his schedule. So my point is, these chambers are here to promote you, to move you. We don't make any money from promoting you, but when by bringing you to events, introducing you to elected officials, bringing resources to events, so that when you go there, you felt like you left with something. And not only that, if you can't even motivate yourself to get to an event, follow us on Instagram, follow what the events are doing, follow what the chamber is doing, because meeting people is part of networking. And after COVID, didn't we see that it's so important to connect, to be part of something so that you can grow, whether it's individually, whether it's in your business, whether it's in your mind. But for restaurants, it's indispensable. Every time I talk to somebody, I get a new customer.
And New York is like the melting pot of businesses and tourism. So for you to be in the middle of it, it's an honor to have you here and put the message out, because there's a lot of business owners that don't know where to start. They had an idea, they had a menu, they had a brand, but they didn't have all the other logistics, or community like the Chamber of Commerce, right? To build that community out, and learn that information.
Did you know that 53% of hospitality is Latino? Most people, you can go to an Italian restaurant and you walk into the kitchen and there's a Latino cooking your food or washing the dishes or being bar back or servicing you behind a bar. And in New York, we're anticipated to be 50% of the population in the next coming years. So how does our market start to help our market? We have to help them promote, brand, talk to them about not making common mistakes which slow you down and jeopardize your business. Right. We have almost a 70% failure rate in restaurants in the first 2 years.
Wow.
So you can't get it wrong.
Yeah.
And if you do, there's certain mistakes that you can avoid.
Yeah.
Because nobody's perfect. But
of course,
we are here to promote and help you. But with liquor licenses, we can't do liquor licenses. Like in DR, they say, oh yeah, serve them, go buy it at the supermarket and serve it. Doesn't work here like that. You need a permit. You need a license. You need to follow rules and regulations. You can't have disturbances. You can't have fights. You have to monitor the crowd. You can't overserve them. So how do we get this message out to our Latinos? Through events. We do alcohol training and awareness programs. When I go to a liquor license, my goal is to be your one-stop shop. Design, compliance. You come in, get your liquor license and ideas, right? Because it can't be that through all of our customers, we're not getting new ideas. Who's the best chef? Who's cooking historically well? Where is the food coming from? Who's doing the best wines, the best liquors? Who's helping your brand? You know, a lot of those branding companies, they give you incentives. Who's giving you money so you can stay open?
Yeah.
But when you're not part of chambers, when you're not participate with your community, you know, that's how you guys got here. You participated with your community.
Correct.
And somebody said what you're doing is fabulous. I want to be a part. I want to help you and be a part of it. And that's what we're trying to get restaurant owners to do. Be part of it so that you don't miss it. So many of us miss PPP.
Right.
That was free money. Then they go and they miss the SBA too. Wouldn't say the SBA money's free, but it would have helped you survive COVID.
Right.
And then grants, 25,000, 5,000, 4,000, 1,000. All our guys, I would say, of all our community, we maybe had 40% who availed themselves and took advantage of it. The rest of them were just, the accountant didn't give them the right advice.
Right.
They didn't do their accounting. They hadn't reported in years, so they couldn't give the SBA or any of
updates.
the agencies anything. So, you know, we have to get our paperwork right. We have to get our friendships and our relationships right. But we have to be right about how we're going to run this business, and especially in New York.
And being present, like presenting yourself to.
Yeah, and you
communities.
present, but, you know, restaurants are fun. But restaurants, like I told you, Izzy Ashkenazi, part of the Ashkenazi Acquisition Group, he said, Arelia, I've created 20 million businesses. I've never been able to figure out the restaurant business. It's so hard between the cooking, the cleaning, the compliance, the laws changing, the inspections. If you don't have the right advice when you start, that's a recipe for disaster.
Right. And a lot of business owners fail because they don't have the right information.
What do you feel like is like the biggest reason why restaurants are failing or
Because they don't have the information.
I like that, but I think it's multi-layer. The first one is you didn't consult the right person, and unfortunately, I have horror stories. I had a woman in a grocery store who hasn't had a grocery store beer. You know, a beer. You go into a grocery store. That's where they make a little bit of money. Beer.
Yeah.
She hadn't had it for 11 years because of racism in upstate with one of the counties. The officer kept telling the liquor authority that the guy was selling marijuana and drugs, her husband. I said, how did you raise 3 children without, she goes, well, I put some food in the deli and, you know, we got through it. But and still, when I went to the liquor authority, we're fighting with her because they didn't want her husband to go into the store. I go, I'm going to be transparent. Her husband's here and he's going to be there. You know, well, I don't want him in the store. I'm like, how do you stop that? He's her husband. So, you know, you got to, you know, that's one of them. Then I had another one in Brooklyn where somebody was going to charge her $25,000
For the license?
for a wine and beer license, for a beer license that cost $364.
Wow.
She goes, that's why we never got it because we thought we never could afford it. I go, what?
Wow.
They never even applied for 3 years.
Wow. Yeah.
Struggling, especially during the pandemic, without even being
sad.
able to. We have good people and we have bad people, but overall, people are good. They want to help you. You must avail yourself because the hardest thing to do is ask for help. But when you get it, so many doors open, especially with chambers. Look, I stopped here with the services that you offer. You know, for me, it was the hardest thing because I'm so like to ask for help. But when you need something, you want information, and if I don't have the answer, my client will come and I said, can I get back to you? And I'll sure find somebody who has the answer. So we have to accept help. The other thing is our language barriers.
Right.
And we're thinking we're going to run the location like it's in Dominican Republic or in Puerto Rico, or we can't just, you know, this isn't the Wild Wild West. You can't let people have weapons in your location or drink until they're lying on the street, punch drunk. You know, we can't,
There's
you know,
regulations that we have to follow.
it's, you know, we have to follow the rules and regulations. For me, the biggest part is watching how we have such good food, we have such good people, and our culture is unmatched, and how we can't get more people to just out there because of the lack of funding. Funding is huge for us. You know, look at that in New Jersey. They're about to open the liquor licenses. It's almost like cab drivers were here. With the medallions, they're going to deregulate that industry. They just sold a liquor license in New Jersey in Dobbs Ferry for $1.6 million. We can't even get through the door. Black, Latinos, and Asians, we were never part of liquoring. In New Jersey, we're never part of that market. You need $500,000. That's what the licenses are going for because they're lifetime. And then you need another $500,000 to get the rent, build out the location. You know, we come to this
We'll
country.
never
Yeah.
be able to afford that. Yeah.
We never even came to the gate. But by deregulating it and bringing it down to $4,000, like New York, for a full liquor license, $4,552, opening the 10 permits. You know, New Jersey owners are going to be able to be part of a market they've not been part of for a very long time.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
great. That's great news.
Seize information and insight when you learn.
You know, if you see a location in New Jersey, it may not be today or tomorrow, but soon. But even in New York, they've changed a lot of the laws with the liquor authority. But, you know, I always say, but the biggest thing that we love in our businesses is music.
Yes.
I say this to the chairman of the liquor authority, and a restaurant without, my Latino restaurant without music, might as well shut its door. Ms. Taveras, why does a restaurant have to have a DJ, karaoke, mariachi? It's a lifestyle. We love music. So the liquor authority has to accommodate. I go, without music, they might as well shut their doors. They might as well shut their doors. We like it. We like to eat. We eat late. Then we're not going to dance. We're going to sway because now nobody dances anymore. They sway because they don't want to sweat their makeup. You know, they don't want to dirty their suit or whatever. And we really just want to be together and share that culture and that music. For me, I can't do enough for my community. My community is one of the communities that, first of all, is always happy. We could be sitting on a stoop in Harlem with a beer in the poorest building, whatever, in a project, and we find some kind of joy there.
Yeah.
And that is very special. I don't think that depression, I don't know. Some people say they suffer. Not Latinos. We got to repress them.
Right.
We got to bring tell them to stop partying so much. So our culture, I love the food, I love our culture, and I love what we bring to the table all the time.
Yeah. It's very powerful. You know, very insightful. Now that those licenses can be presented to the community, now the goal is to learn how to do the funding, right? And being part of these organizations to get funding, get grants, build your credit, build the business credit, and et cetera, right? Because we're not educated on it at all.
Exactly.
It's so crazy because I got to speak with you for a bit, and I go, gosh, we think that there are a lot of us who really are go-getters and go out. They're not. Latinos, by I say it in Spanish, naturaleza, we're shy. I'm not your typical Latina. We're shy. We it's hard to ask for help. And then when you do, sometimes you've had a bad experience, so you don't want to reach out again.
Yeah.
But when you get the information you need, funding is so important. You know, you don't have to use your last penny, but you don't have to lose your last penny either.
Right.
If you just, because people want to give you a chance. You know, I say it, the old regime that's doing liquor license, they're getting old. I'm here still. They're getting old. They got to give it to somebody.
Yeah.
That business is going somewhere. There's so many opportunities for us. Restaurants, they're getting old. They can't live forever at that location,
Yeah.
But, we have to identify an opportunity, find good guidance, vet the location, make sure that you can have a full liquor license. If it's across from a school or a church, you're not going to get full liquor. You're going to get wine and beer. Don't invest. So many people want to do a liquor store. They don't know that New York is not approving them. So you go and you pay $10,000 rent, give them $20,000, $30,000 deposit, only to find out that the use that you want, you cannot even do.
Yeah.
Like, educate yourself before you get into certain industries. Try to get all the compliances and all the paperwork correct. So before you make an initial investment, you guys have the information to get all those licensing in place, correct?
Correct. And also, you don't even have to be a rocket scientist. Our parents came to this country. They didn't speak English with limited education. And some people are multimillionaires right now. You just have to poke your head out and want it, and it's a dream. It's the American dream.
Right.
You come here and it's an American dream. New York is the fostering of American dreams. You come here, if you can't make it in New York. I used to have a guy who sold mangoes in a corner, making $40,000 a year. I go, mangoes on a corner, fruit and vegetable.
Yeah.
$40,000 unreported. He used to report whatever he wanted, but $40,000 a year. You can do anything in New York, and that's what these programs are about. use the time wisely. Use your
Yeah.
neighbors. Ask questions. Everybody who doesn't like to be asked a question.
Of course.
You're flattered. But for our community, it is imperative that we build generational wealth. We create legacies for our families, and that we are examples for the people who are coming. You know, we
Right.
have all these immigrants coming in here. You know, we're not here watching TV. We're working.
We're working.
You know, we're trying to,
Totally.
get through it. And if the pandemic, I always go back to the pandemic. If the pandemic taught us anything, is we could disappear in a minute. And what did we really leave behind? Let's
Yep.
leave a legacy of Latinos prepared to handle and face this future.
Right. Not only for
very
us,
important for the future.
generations to come.
Totally.
You know.
We're doing like an event a unifying event for Latinos in Washington Heights at the United Palace, New Year's in the Heights for New Year's.
Nice.
Almost like 42nd Street. You guys remember 42nd Street?
Yeah.
You probably don't because nobody's even watching it for New Year's anymore.
Yeah, that's-
But imagine a Latino 42nd Street that's seen all over the world.
Yeah.
And God knows we have to find a way to unite, invigorate, reignite, and also find our common voice.
Right.
Because we're growing at warp speed. We are 62 million. Those are the ones that are counted in the United States.
Right.
62 million people.
Wow.
It's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people that are misinformed, and we need to inform them. You know?
$2.6 trillion purchasing power.
Wow.
We can't keep buying Nikes. We got to buy businesses. And,
Yeah.
True.
you know, even though I love Nikes, but we can't just.
We got to build
Yeah,
our
no,
own
no, no, we have
brands
to-
and
we
our own
have to.
products.
We have to create a Nike. How about that? Latino Nike?
Yeah.
I got something for you soon.
We have to we could create our own brand of tacos, but we don't even need to go that hard. We just need to get out of bed. My boss used to say, if you just appear, just show up. Sometimes, like you just interviewed a guy from the gym, and he said something really important. Louis from the Row Astoria. He said that just getting there is a triumph. Just getting out that door. I cannot tell you, and I'll end with the best story. When I started my first job here in New York, I worked across the street from the Waldorf Astoria at the Lowe's New York Hotel on 51st and Lexington. Now it's becoming condominiums. And I told my mom, I'm getting a job today. She goes, okay. I go, I'm not coming home if I don't have a job. I took my resume, I put on some sneakers and my suit, and I got off in the train in Lexington. I went right upstairs into the Lowe's New York Hotel. The guy in the lobby asked me, what are you looking for? I said, a job. He said, can I help you? He goes, come here. And a Puerto Rican. And he got me my first job as a concierge in the restaurant for the hotel. I was unionized, but I kept walking just to walk, but I had the job. I didn't even have to go anywhere because the minute I got off that train, I had my job. So I think it's something, the mindset,
And
people
determination.
see it,
Determination.
the energy, and just, and who doesn't love food? Create an original food concept, brand it, do a baseball cap, do a t-shirt. Most of our successful brands, they create a following because they create like a legacy of people the original branding, but original taste, flavor, something that you love. I was just at the liquor
Almost like a
authority.
community. Like it becomes a community.
Can you believe that liquor stores don't really have aguardiente?
And that's like one of the most famous Latino or Spanish.
Colombian.
Yeah, and I think every country has it, but it's big in Europe too. Like they have
Aguardiente.
they have their own version of it. Like in Greece, they have
Well,
like a very
the
similar.
Colombian applicant applying for, I think it's Corona, he was applying for a liquor store in Jackson Heights, somewhere in Queens, and he said, Chairman, he goes, well, what do you want to do? What makes you so original? Whatever it was, he goes, I'm going to do aguardiente. We have special brands with different lids, and I can't find it when I'm looking in a liquor store in Corona in Jackson Heights, a predominantly Colombian neighborhood. So he would be one of the first guys to be supplying a whole line of aguardiente. Who knew? But we know, but we
true.
don't.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's crazy. He used a cultural concept and he
Yeah,
branded
and
it.
it's also like finding out like what's missing, right? So he saw a gap in the industry, like what's missing here.
They're not approving liquor stores. So that little insight brought him to the door of a potentially super competitive market. One of the owners there said he had made 3.5 in last year, 8 million the year before COVID, and the year before that, he made 3 million starting out the door.
Amazing.
Yeah. that's
So,
great.
we want to be part of those markets, but how do we get there if we don't come in and say, create original concepts?
Right.
Totally.
Thank you so much. Very insightful, Arelia. She's here to give gems and she's here to support the community. We're in a community environment. We're here at the blockchain center, the Bitcoin center, and we're here to build on that community.
Where can people find you online, and where can they see more about the chamber and other initiatives?
Well, the Dominican American Chamber of Commerce is dachamber.org. You can go on our website and you'll find all the activities. They're going to open the office this week in Dominican Republic.
Awesome.
Nice.
We opened in Orlando like 2 months ago. And they're also, all the events are there. In addition, to find New York business license, nybusinesslicensing.com, or you can go to my Instagram, nybusinesslicensing. And if you can't find that, just Arelia Taveras on Instagram. I try to put, New York's Latina restaurant girl.
That's awesome.
And I have, I try to give little tips every time I get, but the best tip we can give a Latino owner is not give up. COVID was a struggle, but if you made it through COVID,
Right.
you can make it through anything.
I know that you also have a podcast.
I do, the Latina Think Tank. And my next subject on the Latina Think Tank is going to cover, well, obviously we continue to cover restaurants, but what we're trying to cover is innovative things that people are not thinking about. Like, like we have opinions. Latinos,
Right.
we don't talk about them. We're not confrontational as a community,
Yeah.
but we have to have the conversation. Why aren't we doing more for each other?
Right. Yeah,
Why
that's a
aren't
big
we branching out into other neighborhoods? Why do we all, why aren't we building the legacies that we so dreamed your children would have? Why, why are our kids still going to jail? Or what are we doing with ourselves?
A lot of immigrants still come and they'll accept the fact of what's here because they was like, this is the dream. But when they get here, they notice it's not that easy. And what you're saying is the most important part is like, if you do come or you grew up here with immigrant parents, the goal will be to come together to build brands, build ideas, build on our community. And it's so important because we leave it up to everybody else.
And there's also that fear of asking for help, right? Like, I might be an expert in advertising, but the restaurant business, how, I'm not going to be able to know everything, and being able to just go to someone for help is important, and being able to have people that have these knowledge in these different industries, right?
And it's scary, right? You're taking your last penny to open a restaurant. You have to, you gotta, but why make it so much harder? It's almost like going up a mountain when you could maybe slide down the side, because some people are gonna, help you get down a little smoother so it's not such a bumpy ride, and that's why places like these, when I found this place, I was so excited. You saw me, I was screaming like, oh my God, I found the think tank.
Yeah.
But we have to think about how we're going to grow this community, and we cannot do it without each other.
Right.
That's important.
Well, there you go, guys. This is the Innovators Den. We live at the Bitcoin Center. We have formerly known as hashtag Steve-O Business and Arelia Taveras.
You said it wrong again, but
I said it
forgive
wrong?
you.
No, I didn't.
Taveras.
Ariela.
There he goes again, Ariela. Usually it's Ariel, so I think we're winning today.
She got a special name. That's why I'm trying to learn it.
It means gold in Latin. But this
Right.
was a golden opportunity.
Yeah,
and I
no,
want to
thank you so much for
having me.
coming out.
Thank you
and,
so much. We
and being with
appreciate
us
you
and
here.
educating us and
Taking time
giving
out of
us
your busy
information.
schedule to meet with us.
But everybody look into the Chamber of Commerce, right? Business owners look into grants, look into your business credit, work on all those things because it's important to have all that information set the right way when you setting up your business.
And don't give up.
Don't give up,
Don't
guys.
let anybody tell you.
That's the
Tunnel
key.
vision. Tunnel
Yeah.
vision.
100%.
There you go. Well, this is a wrap. Innovators Den.